on.
3 indeed. We are here. Keeping that strange train rolling.
Yep.
I suppose.
I think before we start, we haven't mentioned this past few weeks, but you've got Twitter now.
I have got Twitter. Yes, I have. I finally... I don't know what persuaded me to join it.
I don't know either. Why the fuck did you go to Twitter?
I just feel like it may be another useful avenue to promote certain things that we're involved in.
Yeah.
Maybe I suppose it'd be a good thing to I suppose being on Twitter, I can better gauge the presence of my friend John a little bit more, because I feel like that's one of the main areas in which in which we're on, and also I get to see the news a little bit more. Because I've always been curious of the Twitterverse. Do you know what I mean? And how poisonous and toxic of an environment it is.
That's when you find out people you like are actual arseholes.
They show their real what's it called? True colours.
True colours, yeah.
That's it. But no, I mean, I'm not particularly worried about getting sucked in any of that, because I'm only followed by 14 people so far, so it's fine. And I barely use it at the minute, to be honest with you. It's just there if I need to have a quick peek at what's going on in the world domestically. But also, I thought it'd be, because I've got a single coming out soon.
Yeah.
At the end of this month, July, at the time of recording. And I thought, Twitter's probably another avenue just to promote it on there, and this, that, and the other. And, I just thought, it's...
you should do. You should get a MySpace.
Wow, yeah.
MySpace is very musical these days.
Yeah. Is that where a lot of stuff's going on?
I think so, yeah. Last I remember, unless it's dead now.
God.
R.I.P. Tom, if it is. I'm pretty sure MySpace is very musical these days.
Yeah.
Like a lot of bands promote stuff.
Jesus, I remember when it was the big thing, wasn't it?
Yep. No, it was in my end of school.
And now it's just a wasteland, I suppose.
Yeah.
Isn't anybody actually on it?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of, no. But no, it's no. I just thought, I'd join in on the action a little bit. I mean, I doubt I'll have it forever. Do you know what I mean?
Tire fire, forget about it.
I'll have it. No doubt I'll have it for whatever. I mean, to be fair, I got Snapchat for 2 years or something like that, and I deleted that.
Yeah.
So I just don't need it at all. So but as I say, I barely use Twitter at the minute anyway. But I just so I've got it, just the thing. So yeah, I mean, so if anyone's listening and they fancy giving me a follow, it's I'm at the _low wave because the new wave was taken, so I couldn't have that again. But the _low wave on Twitter. That's where I am. And speaking of things on Twitter, obviously, like we said last week, at the time of recording, Boris Johnson would resign that day, and as of now, he's resigned.
Yeah.
He's gone!
It's not like we're recording these straight after each other.
No, it's not like we're recording it on the same day. But no, yeah, he's gone. Watched his resignation speech and blamed everybody but himself.
Yeah.
The classic Boris.
The boos coming from the crowd is great.
I know, it was amazing. And did you notice as well, he didn't actually say... Unless I missed it somewhere.
He didn't say resign.
He didn't actually say he was resigning. He said it in a way that made him look...
He's going to go and lock the door, isn't he?
Yeah, he
He's
is.
going to keep himself barricaded
So unhumiliated. He said, the time has come, I think, because of whatever, a new leader is needed. So we'll be beginning that process now. And I'm like, he hasn't actually said he's resigning.
Yep.
Because he doesn't, because the word resigning is too humiliating for him. Doesn't want to be lumped into the likes of David Cameron and Theresa May.
Yep.
But hey ho, there we are. He's gone. Lovely,
Yep.
And it's time. I feel like it's time for a new, refreshing, charismatic leader, which is why I am announcing my candidacy for the leadership of the Conservative Party.
Mint.
And I expect the utmost support from from this podcast and everyone who listens.
No, you Tory bastard.
No, I'll be independent, an independent at this rate. But yeah, no, I think I'd do a good job.
You might be able to do it.
I might be up for the job. I know a few people who'd be filling the cabinet positions. I don't know. I'd make you secretary of.
I'll do Nadine's job. I'll be the cultures.
The culture secretary.
The
Yeah, I'll
cultures.
make you culture secretary. Aye, that'd be good. Have Jordan as the chancellor, probably.
I'll take Channel 4.
Yeah. Marvelous, absolutely marvelous. But yes, Stranger Things season
Season
3.
3.
Now this was a good one.
Yeah,
This is a good season.
more fresh on this one in my mind.
Yes, absolutely. Now you said you had some thoughts on this one. I'm intrigued as to.
I just want you to talk about it first, though. See where.
Oh, okay, sure. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed this season. I was a bit. I found it a bit strange when I looked up afterwards because I like to look at like whenever I watch something I always like to look at like what the general the general like cultural opinion of something is.
Yeah.
And I saw a few places saying that that season 3 was their least favorite, and because it was so different to the first two.
Yeah.
And they didn't like this sort of like this Monster energy drink like sort of surge of energy and aesthetic that it was going for, but I kind of enjoyed it. Really, I thought it was quite necessary and quite welcome, because I think if you remember rightly, I mean in the last episode, I mean my biggest criticism for season 2 is that it kind of just regurgitates season 1 again.
Yeah.
But with just a different kind of a different like events and things like that, but it's more or less the same thing.
Imagine you liking something that changes a thing and no one else likes it.
Yeah.
Reminds me of something else, John. What is that?
Oh god. Well, did you know that it was originally called Blue Harvest? No, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. And actually that reminds me of another thing as well. I was talking to a mutual friend of ours, Max, or as he's stage named the MXYM, just MXYM, because his social media is the MXYM. That's why I'm getting confused. But we often, because I've known Max since nursery, so we often like grew up with like the same like in media interests stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like he's like for example, like we're both like big like DC like Batman fans and things like that. So every time there's a movie, like we always comment on and give our opinions on it. But like me and Max, I was saying this to him the other day. Me and Max, I don't think we agree on really anything. I mean, if it's like, I mean, we do agree that the worst Batman film is Batman Forever.
Right.
But apart from that, I'm sure there's other things that we kind of agree on, but we just know each other's tastes like quite well, you know. And I always, I don't know if I've said this to him, but yeah, I know if Max doesn't like something, then the chances are I'm probably gonna like it. You know what I mean? So when I asked him about Stranger Things, and he said like, oh no, I can't be doing with like kids, you know, like a show about like teenage kids. I don't have time for it. So he's he's not a fan. He likes Jurassic Park. I don't get anything from it.
I love Jurassic Park.
He's not a massive fan of The Batman, which came out recently.
Still haven't seen The Batman.
I think it's great. Although, mind you, initially I quite liked the Joker movie.
Yeah.
Max hated it from the get-go. My opinion of it has gotten worse as time's gone on. Just because of like, you know, the various things. But like that's another podcast. But so when he said like, oh, I don't like Stranger Things, I thought like, oh, I'm probably gonna like it, you know. So it just reminded me of that a little bit. But no, I think yeah, it's I think with a show like this, like I said, where the second season is basically just a repeat of the first season, you're in danger of running out of ideas quite quickly.
Yeah.
And I worried in case that would have been the case. Season 3 very much is its own beast. And initially, I actually wondered if it was, and this is just me, like totally being ignorant to the fact that was it the Duffel brothers? Duffer brothers. The Duffel brothers. The Duffer brothers. Actually did do season 3. I mean, they've done all of it, haven't they?
Yeah.
But like, if I didn't know any better, if someone had told me that season 3 had a brand new writer and director in, I would have totally believed it.
Yeah.
Because it is like totally different. It's got like a new surge of energy. Its aesthetic is much more colourful.
Very 80s.
So 80s.
Very late 80s.
It's the most 80s
Yeah.
that this series has
The
been.
Mall of America type.
Yeah, literally, like the biggest symbol of capitalism in the Reagan era.
And you're gonna go for Reagan.
Here it is, it's like, oh, you can almost hear him going. You can just almost hear him going, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. You can just see him. I mean, it would have been great if he made an appearance. You know what I mean? Just wandering through.
What, the actor?
There's a not one. Is then we'll fight those communists if it's the last thing we ever do. Sort of thing. It would have been great, honestly, but. No, it literally, it is full on 80s, full on, like that energy that, like, I mean, Back to the Future is referenced and shown so many times in this season, I just love that. I mean, I read somewhere online someone saying it's basically just Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it is. I mean, I've not seen Body Snatchers, but I'm totally aware of like the premise and stuff like that. And I'm like. And some people were saying like Stranger Things has always been homage-y, but it's never been like just a direct this is what we're doing now until now. And I'm like, well, I guess, but but then again, no, I've not seen that movie, and this is the thing. It's like I don't know. It's like do you think there's a danger of that? Like, I mean, it goes back to what we were talking about before. Like, when does something stop being homage-y and then starts becoming just, oh, we're just doing this now? Do you know what I mean?
Life is Strange. Not Life is Strange. Fucking Life on Mars.
Life on Mars.
America.
Yeah. Oh, I suppose, yeah. Oh, it's such a great series, Life on Mars.
The American one's fun.
Is it?
Legit, the first episode, I only watched the first episode of the American one. It is the same script. They just
exactly
changed the places.
Script. That's amazing.
They just legit kept the same script and it felt like a parody.
That's amazing. That's so funny. That's so funny. It's why would you do something like that? You know what I mean?
Unoriginal stuff. I mean, there's an American In-Betweeners, there was an American IT Crowd.
Yeah, I suppose.
I've seen the pilot and it's again script for script.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, but with this one, with this one, it was. I didn't feel like it was a direct, rip off or anything like that. I mean, like I say, I've not seen it, but the thing is, it's like ideas in sci-fi and horror are shared all the time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like you see crossovers and you see direct inspirations and direct things like that all the time, and this is no different, really. And really, I mean, for me, this was the most Stephen King-y the show has been. Yeah. In season 3, and it's like you see that in like all of like the adult characters, all of them are, fucked. Like, I mean, even before like they get possessed by the mind flayer. Yeah. And it's the most like volatile it's been in terms of like that, like, because like when they get possessed, they all look like they're rotting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like even before they actually rot, and turn into like just sludge.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting, by the way, but it's fantastic. Like they all like are just like rotting on the outside, and it is that theme that you see in it, where it's like it's the entire town of Derry seems to be possessed by the idea of Pennywise and all this creature, and it's like even though it's not literally, its influence seems to be there everywhere, like all of the adult characters are like they're rotting and they're decaying and like they're just horrible and they're like untrustworthy and this, that and the other, because the kids can't trust anyone but themselves, and like, and it's a little bit of like a like a similar sort of thing going on here, especially with Nancy and Jonathan, and then of course with the rest of the character, and like, but now it's like everything steps up a gear, and I really liked that Will for once was not the center of the drama. Yeah. It's like, we've got to move on from that. We've got to move on.
Stop traumatizing the poor kid.
Like, literally, this kid has gone through enough trauma. Just leave him the fuck alone. And even the bit at the beginning where they're going up the hill to communicate with Dustin's alleged girlfriend at that moment in time, like Will has that moment where like he's rubbing the back of his neck now, and I literally said to myself, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" I went, just get over it. You know what I mean? Just get the fuck over it, dude. You know what I mean? But I know that he's gone through enough trauma to last anyone a lifetime. But you know, I was like, don't do it again, don't do it again. But no, it is just like he's got a link to
the Upside Down.
The Upside Down and what's going on because he spent so much time there, and of course he was possessed. He's always going to be linked to it. He's always going to have that trauma, you know, and which is a really good like little like allegory for trauma in general and how people deal with it, you know. And Will never be the same again, you know, and we're seeing that in the coming episodes and also in season 4 a little bit. But it's like from what I've seen, but. That was another thing about Willow which I found really interesting is like this guy is so desperate to cling on to his youth and what he like enjoyed, which is like, and I don't think it's because, I mean, for me the biggest thing was like, I mean, this was before all the shit happened to him, before all the stuff happened to him. That is what he knew, and that is what made him happy.
Yeah,
like just
playing D&D with friends and
playing
stuff.
D&D with his friends, and life was straightforward and simple. And then all of a sudden, when all this other stuff happened, it wasn't just like the stuff with the Demogorgon and you know the Mind Flayer and the Upside Down and all that. I mean, that was a big part of it.
Yeah.
But now the guys are in this stage in their life where it's like that scene where Mike says, "What did you really think we weren't gonna grow up and like get girlfriends and stuff like that?" You know, and it's like, and Will just. It's not that he doesn't want to grow up. It's I think it's because he wants to remember
some of that childhood that he lost as well.
Yeah, he wants to eat because he was sort of cheated out of that really, and he didn't have a chance to sort of like grow like the rest of them did really because he was so focused on the trauma that he was suffering. And you know, it's kind of a bit like, and this is the thing as well, like I fucking hate Mike. Like
you said last season.
I did, and this season really drives it home. He is a fucking asshole. Like the whole thing about like when he's seeing Elle.
Yeah.
And obviously Hopper is going through the middle-aged dad thing now, where he's even rougher around the edges. You know,
more of an American dad thing is like, you want my daughter? He's my gun.
Literally, yeah, and he's a bit Homer Simpson-ish a bit in this, and that was one criticism that I found. Someone was saying that like they made like Hopper like just Homer Simpson dumb in this episode, in this season. I'm like, I don't think that's the case. I don't agree. I think Hopper is going through changes like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, he's reached that point in his life where, you know, yes, he is a technical father in a sense of like adopting Elle, but he doesn't know how to deal with it. You know, he doesn't know how the best way to go about it, and he's a bit, you know, he's having a bit of an identity crisis, you know, a little bit. And I think, you know, you do fall into those traps when you're having that doubt about yourself. You sort of like lose your edge a little bit, and this is what has to happen with characters. You know, it's like, you know, you have to
knock them down and build them back up.
You have
hero's
to
journey.
Mm-hmm. It's a hero's journey, and that's the thing in seasons 1 and 2. Yeah, Hopper was always rough. You know, and we alluded to the fact that he was on pills, but you never really saw the effect of that.
Yeah.
He was always like apex, you know, chief policeman. You know, he was always getting the job done, and he was always like that heroic like figure. And in this season, he's knocked down a bit. He's a bit, you know, there's a few moments where he's not really his best. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. And you have to see that, you know, as you said, it's the hero's journey, which I think is very important. And again, a lot of people are complaining about that, and I'm like, you people who complained about that are the same people who complained about The Last Jedi. You know, people don't like change.
Luke Skywalker shouldn't drink titty milk.
No, that was wonderful. That was absolutely wonderful. What else was he supposed to do on an island like that? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. That's the thing, actually. To quote Patrick Willems, if you don't like the idea of Luke Skywalker drinking green titty milk from a new creature that we've not seen, then I'm afraid you have boring taste and I don't want to be friends with you. You know, it's true. It's like, if you just want stuff the same, then watch the same movie over and over again. But yeah, it's the same with this in Stranger Things season 3. And yeah, but Mike is a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
The way that he disrespects Hopper is, and I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, that like so I have more, and I've noticed this actually as I'm getting older. I have more and more of a disdain for young people
Yeah.
and the way that they go on, and it's like that is rude as fuck. You know what I mean? And it's like when he was trying to like have a heart of them, and he just whispered in her ear like in front of him, and I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you! Especially after everything that they've been through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've saved the world together, and you're going on like this in front of this hero, this American hero. You know what I mean? No, but it's like, it's, you know, and later on, and the way that Mike dresses as well. I mean, I know that they're all nerds, and it's the 80s, but he seems to dress the worst. Like the shorts, the polo top, the white socks all the way up the heel with the sneakers, and I'm like, you look like a fucking nerd, and I hope you get bullied. I hope you get bullied, and I hope people beat the shit out of you. Like, you're an awful dude. I would have dumped you as well. Oh, that was another thing as well. I loved it when 11 dumped him. Yes, dump him. He's an awful fucking guy.
Yes, girl.
Yes, literally. You listen to fucking Max, you know, which
Yeah.
I like that they're friends as well. I mean, it comes a little bit out of nowhere, but I do like that they are now like really good
Bezies,
friends.
yeah.
Bezies, I thought that was lovely. You know, because I think if 11 is going to be a developing person, you absolutely need that balance of, you know, that like, yeah, young lads, they're awful, you know, and it's, you know, and but then she also learns in season 4 that young girls are also terrible as well. But that's something we'll get onto later on. But yeah, absolutely dump him. You know, he's terrible. He's a really arrogant, awful piece of shit, you know, and it's like that's who you're looking for. It wasn't Steve who became the douchebag boyfriend, it was Mike. Now, I might be jumping the gun here because, of course, I've not seen the rest of season 4.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed it quite quiet on this one. Am I actually wrong about Mike in the long run? Or
Trying to think now. No, I think everyone else bigs him up again. But I think season 4, you probably noticed anywhere, kind of Team Los Angeles, Team California. I think they didn't know what to do with them.
don't know what to do with Mike.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that group, they've just like, what the fuck are we going to do with these? They seem
Yeah.
to be written in a corner somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you've probably noticed about you're 4 episodes in now.
I think I'm in episode 4. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 or 5 episodes in, and just
Yeah.
like, yeah, they've written that group, and they're like, what do we do with
What do we do
these?
with them?
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of room with like Dustin and Steve.
Oh god,
They steal this season.
they steal every season together.
They do. Absolutely wonderful. It's an absolute delight to watch. It's like, because who's the actor who plays? Who are they? The two of them. Because they are absolutely tremendous. The two of them.
Never really done much. Going up now. Keep on talking about Dustin, Steve.
Dustin and Steve are absolutely just like, I mean, like the fact that Steve is kind of like showing his true colors a bit more. Like you saw him like being Mr. Smooth, and now he's a bit of a he's a bit of a, you know, he's a bit of a nerd, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like he's turning into like that sort of thing because of you know, the more that he hangs out with Dustin, the two of them become really good mates. And I loved that line where of course he's seen Dustin, and then Erica comes in, who has her moment to shine in this season as well. By the way, she's fantastic. When Robin, again, another great character who's introduced here, and I love what they did with her, like to like towards the end of the season, where she goes, "How many children do you know?" And I'm like, that's so funny. It's true though, and but she's not useless either. You know, she's like, you know, I actually know a bit of like Russian, and I translate it and stuff. But I like that her and Steve like obviously develop a really natural relationship where like obviously there's an attraction there from like the two of them to each other, and obviously Steve is like, oh, like, you know, you're really cool and stuff, but then she's like, no, I like girls, I'm gay.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, whoa, it's a moment where, which I didn't really see coming, to be honest with you. I'll be straight. I didn't see it. And it was a lovely moment though when Steve just immediately starts, because Steve realizes then that he has a friend who he can talk to girls with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she'll get it. She'll understand because she likes girls as well. And it's just a beautiful friendship, you know, which then develops even more into season 4. And that's what I really liked as well. I like because season 3, there's a lot of new stuff established in season 3.
Yeah.
But I think none of it feels unwelcome, or I mean, again, we've completely forgotten about the other girl who has powers with her little posse and
Oh yeah, they're
Illinois.
gone.
Well, they're forgotten. But like and even Winona Ryder and her relationship with Hopper is I mean, we all knew it was coming, but it's nice to see it like being slightly developed in this as well.
Yeah.
And just Hopper like being stood up by her, and so he's like, "I'm the chief of police. I can do it." It's great. It's just so wonderful. But of course, the big ones in this is like, who are the villains? The Russians.
Yes.
And of course, it's a little bit reflective of what's happening in real life at the minute, I suppose. Yeah. In a sense, it's like how history sort of
30-year cycle of Russians come back in.
The Russians always come back with a vengeance. But I found that really interesting about how the Russians started to make an appearance, because we heard a little bit in season 1 how it's the Americans doing like the MK Ultra dodgy experiments on people and children,
making super weapons to fight Russia.
Exactly, and you never see the Russian perspective. You only hear about, which I suppose is maybe part of the show's strengths. Really, in season 1, it's like it's so cloak and dagger. You still don't really know that much about the laboratory.
Yeah.
And that's part of like what made the show so great in season 1. It's like it's so shadowy. You still don't really know a lot about Matthew Modine, his character, because he doesn't say much.
Yeah.
You don't know much about the lab itself. You don't know much about like really what the weapon's purpose is to be. You didn't know where L came from. It was like all this mystery, which, and I know annoys a lot of people. Because I remember I was talking to someone at work about how the whole one and done. I was talking about the whole like one and done thing, and people saying like, no, there needed to be more seasons because we don't know what the Upside Down is. We need to explain that, and I'm like, yeah, but again, it's my pet peeve. It's like, we don't. If you want a Wikipedia article, just read one.
Yeah, you don't need to have everything spoon fed to you.
You don't need to have everything explained. You don't. Because it's like, is it not enough that... Because nobody in the show knows what the Upside Down is.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so scary. Because it's unknown. It's dark. It's scary. But all we know is that it fucks with you. And that there's creatures in there. And, and it can... But it's always there. And that's enough.
Yeah.
Because that's good storytelling. It means that, it keeps you scared. You think about it. But if it's explained and you know what it is to every minute detail, then it doesn't become interesting anymore. It just becomes whatever else. It's like, oh, well, I know that now. It's like, okay, great. It's like when we explained that the Force was microscopic organisms in someone's blood. It's like, no, it's not. Can it not just be enough that it's just this mystical thing that's around you all the time? You know what I mean?
Space magic, baby.
Space magic. And it's like, it's like Obi-Wan's explanation of what the Force was in episode 4 was perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, it's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us, it penetrates us, it binds the universe together, and it's what gives a Jedi its power. All you need to say, all you need for what the Force is. But it's but I liked that. I liked that though, that in this season, and again, another criticism for season 3 that I saw was like that that there isn't much of the Upside Down in this one.
Yeah.
And that it's kind of just no more than a gateway and stuff, and like you don't see much of it, and you don't, and like, well, you don't. I'm like, do you need to?
You know what it looks like? It's just
exactly. It's like
just Hawkins and decrepit,
dark, decrepit Hawkins. Yeah, that's all it is. And it's like, do we need to go back to the Upside Down? It's like, I mean, we already know what it is. Like at this point, we already know where it is. We already kind of know how it works, and sort of, and all that sort of stuff. It's like, let's do something different. It's like let's see the Russians trying to fuck up stuff and try and do that shit.
I love that the Russians built the shopping malls to like
fantastic, isn't it brilliant? What a brilliant idea. You know what I mean? And it's underneath, and then the way that they made their way into the shopping mall. And I also loved that Dustin and Steve had no idea that like that the Upside Down was playing up again, and that there was like, you know what I mean, like they were just fully focused on the Russians. And I thought that's great, because everybody else, it was another like thing of season 1 where like everyone else is like doing their own thing.
They had their own investigation, but all came together at the end. Yeah.
Oh, that was so good.
All the threads just joined together.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I really like. But I really liked, though, in this season, Billy.
Yes.
Billy is
An
really,
arsehole, but
he's an arsehole, but you understand why he's an arsehole. I mean, you kind of got that a bit in season 2, that his dad's a prick.
yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, that's where it comes from. He's lashing out because he can't stand up to his dad, so he takes down other people. Which you understand. He's still a dick. But when he's... and I was just thinking that I kind of... Is it just me, or did you kind of want Mike's mom to actually... do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I kind of wanted that to happen for some reason.
Is it him coming out the pool, or when he's diving at the pool or something?
When he comes into the pool, he comes out as a lifeguard, and of course, he's
it's got like proper like music
Baywatch
and he's
sort
coming
of
out.
thing, yeah, like the whole Baywatch thing. Did you think he was Zac Efron when you first saw him?
No, not at all.
I did. I thought, fuck, is that Zac Efron? Is he in this? You know what I mean? But then, no, I was like, oh, no.
I forgot Zac Efron was in a Baywatch movie. Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, and of course he was in Baywatch as well. No, but when I first saw him in season 2, I thought, fuck, is that Zac Efron? I didn't know he was in this. But it wasn't. It was I don't know the name of the actor, but he was in the Power Rangers reboot.
Which I still haven't seen.
Oh, mate.
Considering you know.
It's all right. It's a good laugh. Yeah, he's in the Power Rangers reboot, Billy. And he plays the Red Ranger.
Yeah.
But
Dacre Montgomery.
But he's the spitting image of Zac Efron. He looks a bit like him. And
I see what you mean.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
Got an image of him there, just
Yeah, he does look a bit like him.
has a bit of a look to yeah.
Yeah, especially when he was made up as Billy. But he plays it very well.
Yeah.
He plays this angsty, angry, macho guy very well. But the scene where he's flirting with he's flirting with Mike's mom, and the bit where she's swimming in the pool, and he's thinking MILF. You know what I mean? Like, and I think everyone is thinking MILF. And then when she, and then when he's like, oh, why don't we don't want to go and get a hotel. I don't know why he's British all of a sudden. Why don't we go and get a hotel and we'll talk about their technique. And it's like fun. At that point I was going, fuck, I'd go with him. You know what I mean? like bloody hell, but like, I mean, you knew that she wasn't gonna go.
Yeah.
But there was a moment, she's getting all dolled up, and taking off her wedding ring, and then she sees a middle-aged husband and a daughter, and you think, oh, you're not gonna do it, are you? But I kind of wanted her to. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of wanted her to. I was like, go on.
Just possess Billy, be like, Mike, I fucked your mom.
Literally. Yes, just for that, just to get it, Mike. Just to fuck Mike over, Yeah, that's it. The villain went and fucked your mom. Yeah, absolutely, and he loved every second of it, as he should, But no, it didn't happen. What happens to Billy is quite tragic, really.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it was quite sad just that his mom, walked out, like the mom who the only person who like really like believed in him and like had fun with him, really, and then after that he just never experienced joy from a parent or anyone else really for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it makes it even sadder when, because obviously he takes it out on Max, and because he resents her for being like this other like position in his life that he just doesn't want or need,
yeah.
or need or whatever, and it's like when he does die at the end, it is quite, I mean, it's you kind of knew it was coming, but it was still, I was like, there was no chance for Billy to like get any sort of like redemption for like, here he is. But hey man, it's like, tragic characters, it's
yeah.
like, it's a really tragic, sad ending, but that is what happens sometimes, and it's and it just gives the story a bit more levity and a bit more weight, and I think what happened to the lifeguard mate of his? Because Heather, was it Heather or whatever her name was? I mean, I know that she was like with him all the time, but then there was a moment where she just disappeared, or did she just like disintegrate and to form the big?
I think she disintegrated.
Did she?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like that happened, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I missed it. I don't know, but yeah, it's freaky though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when the mind like flayer like turns up in his physical form, it's like, Well, of course he would be made up of like other like living things, you know what I mean? Which is quite. Oh, I was like, fucking hell, man. It's quite gruesome, but it's quite cool though.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen anything like that before, you know. And I thought that's quite cool. You know, that's different. That's interesting, you know. And you know, I just loved that it just went in a totally different direction. You know, that was the one thing that I really. And of course, the Terminator.
Yeah.
Fucking like straight up Terminator reference, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I know it was extremely on the nose.
Oh yeah.
From the
Some
hair
references.
to the clothes to the way that he was like marching around the place and his guns and everything. Totally on the nose, but I couldn't help myself. I really did enjoy it. But and that's when that's kind of like my general overview of it, but like of what I thought of it. But I hear you told me that you had pretty strong thoughts on season 3.
Oh, it's just some stuff I loved. Like you've already mentioned anyway, like Steve's relationship with Robin, where he goes from the fact that like I really like her and stuff like that, and asks her out. They're like, well, asks her out under not duress, under being fucking hired. They're both getting
They're both like off their nut on truth serum, yeah, which is great. That was a wonderful.
Then
thing.
she reveals she was lesbian, and his immediate reaction was like, "Cool."
Yeah,
like it's not like a dickheady thing, like whatever, because it is the 80s.
It is the 80s, which is why she was so hesitant of saying that I'm a lesbian. You know,
but like his just immediate reaction was like, "Cool, stay friends."
Yeah,
I've had that before.
Yeah.
One of my best friends, I asked her, we went on a date, she realised she was ace. And said that after a while, and I was like, cool, you're great.
Yeah.
Want to still be friends, and we are best friend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that kind of hit like a big thing to me.
Yeah. That's. It is nice when seeing stuff like that. I mean, like when I have not had that personal experience where, like, say, like someone I've been on a date with has said like,
or somebody like to say like,
oh, I'm gay, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I have. It was like I think it was like about a year or two ago or something like that. It was someone we went to uni with, actually. I went I'll not name her, obviously, like on here, but it was like a case of, it was, we ended up going on like 2 dates, or something like that, and most dates that I've been on with like other people and stuff, like I have honestly not really kept in contact with them afterwards. Do you know what I mean? Because, well, whatever, that's the way stuff happens, you know what I mean? But like afterwards, you know, like, I mean, you know, I just went like, because we weren't really like sure like what was happening, you know, and then I said, what we're doing here, what's going on, you know, and then she went, I think we're just friends. And I just went, look, I'm cool with that, you know, and like I'm absolutely cool with that as long as I know what's going, because I still, you know, she's absolutely fantastic and she's great, and you know, and the two of us like hung out a bit like after that as friends, and we still are friends. We still message each other every now and then, just like updating each other on my love lives, you know what I mean? And but she what really solidified it afterwards was when I was driving her home. And then we got like when the guards were like completely down. Yeah. She like said like, oh, if I'm being honest, I'm still fucked up from my last relationship. And I was like, if I'm being honest, me too. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, you know, and then we just started talking about like that, and then we just bonded over that really. And I have to say, it doesn't really happen very often, but it is nice when stuff like that happens, because it makes you feel like, well, I mean, on a totally cynical level, it's like I didn't totally waste my time, but you know what I mean? It's like, you know, there's no reason to put pressure on every single one of those situations. Do you know what I mean? And it's like it's just you know, it's always better to have people in your life that you really do like have some kind of a connection with on some level, you know, and it's you got to keep hold of like people who get you. Yeah, you know what I mean, and it's and who are your friends and things like that. Like it's like, you know, it's like it doesn't have to, you know, things don't have to work out romantically with everyone you meet, because I tell you what, you only need one person. Yeah. You only need to work out with one person romantically and make that last, right? You can have 1 million friends. Yeah, you know what I mean. You can always have 1 million friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's great, even, you know. So yeah, I agree with you. That scene with Robin was fun, and that whole relationship between the two of them is fantastic.
Yeah, it
You
gets
know.
better even in the fourth season. They're just so
Yeah, just in tune with each other. That's
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic.
best mates. Just both the same people. Really, they're both losers. They're both.
They are both losers. Yeah, Steve is such a loser, and
He went from being the top dog in that school to just being an
just
absolute loser.
Such a loser. But that's why I love him so
Yeah.
much, because he's just so genuine. Like he's as honest as the day is long.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And it's like that's what's so refreshing about his character. You know, he's total 180 on what he was. You know, and it's and the like the even the bit where I'm trying to think now as well. There's oh god, I've totally forgotten it. Keep oh god, no, what was it? There's something about Steve just being a fucking loser.
I mean, he asks out so many girls around the.
And I think
In
it was
that
like, you suck, and it's this like sort of thing. He doesn't know how to talk to women
Yeah,
at all anymore, you know. And oh, and that was it. Yeah, when he fights the Russian guard and he wins,
yeah.
and then Dustin's like, "You actually want to fight?" You know? And I'm like, "Yeah, he did," because he always
Just loses.
always loses. Like, what? He's like, what? He's like, it's all right. I'll predict. What, you think you can take them? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you've never won a fight, have you? You know what I mean? Like, he's, yes, I have. And I don't know. It's like Jonathan beat the shit out of you. Billy beat the shit out of you. He went. You put up a good fight against Billy, but you still lost. You know. And I thought, you know, it's true. It is true. Mind you, that being said, he didn't lose against the Demogorgon. And he didn't.
He's lost against people, against fucking monsters.
But monsters he
great.
can fight, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Which is so bizarre. It's so strange. Just give him a bat with nails on and you're
Yeah.
fine. But it was that was great to see. And was there any other moments that you thought?
I think you've mentioned a lot of them. I mean, they never end the story, but it's funny still.
That is true.
Dustin's girlfriend from like,
Who actually showed up?
yeah, who's actually real.
Actually real, you know. I mean, there was never really a doubt that she was fake, you know what I mean? But it was like when she actually turns up and they're singing the never-ending story.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell is going on?
Again, I don't know if you've seen it yet in season 4. They do mention her, but they're like, you know, and they start singing the never ending story. It's like, oh yeah.
I know I've not seen that bit yet. But I'm excited when it comes up. But that was another random, bizarre moment. But I kind of loved it.
Yeah.
You know, and that was another thing as well. I mean, people didn't. I know that some people weren't really a fan of the seeming comic moments, like more so that came up in this one. And I'm like, well, you need
levity.
You've got to have levity. You've got to change the pace. I mean, because like season 2 was really grim, like really grim. You know what I mean? And it was, you know, so it's nice to have like that. But again, like I say, it's like full on Stephen King season 3.
Yeah.
Like proper wacky shit happens. You know, with like the Russian base is like takes something taken straight out of an 80s like caricature movie, you know what I mean? And it's like,
again, it's genius. That was a model of America that was just built on top, because of course it's a Russian plot. Get to capitalism.
Of course it is. It's brilliant. And
Keep them fat.
Exactly, keep them fat. Brilliant. But of course, there's that wonderful moment where they're trying to recruit Erica to crawl through the vent.
Yeah.
But she's like, are you in to help your country? Well, you can't spell America without Erica. And he goes, oddly, yes, that is true. Yeah.
I forgot Erica's like proper in that season, like at the
She's
end.
well into it, yeah. Because like she graduates from being like a supporting character to one of the main characters, you know. And I really did enjoy that. I struggled a little bit with why. Oh no, I'm getting ahead of myself. Never mind. That's in season 4. I guess I'll find out why. But I liked. I like that. That there's like there is that sort of like, while they are becoming young people, like Mike and 11 are trying to like work out their relationship like properly and stuff, and but everyone else around them is giving them advice, like based on that age-old thing of like, look, like women are crazy, you know what I mean? and like we don't know how they work, but you need to do this, this, and this. And then of course on the other side it's just like Max is like saying like, look, men are stupid, and you know, like this is
Need a Hammer it through.
Need to hammer it through. This is how they work, and it is almost a cliche at this point, but it's good. It's like it just makes the characters like more human, and it makes more sense that 11 would be particularly experiencing that for the same time. And on that note as well, thank fuck for 11 as well in this season,
Yeah.
because there's several moments where she like goes full on like Jean Grey. Do you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
like, in some moments where it's like where she bashes Billy against walls and throws him through walls and stuff with her telekinesis.
Yeah.
And it's like, thank God you're here, otherwise everyone would be slaughtered.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, and even with the mind flayer as well, when they stop it from killing Nancy, which I don't know why it didn't. I don't know. It throws her against a wall. It's just like it's biding time at this point. You know. But and then when 11 comes in and she goes ape shit on it and just whacks it against walls and throws it through the building, and like I was like, God damn, like you guys are screwed, honestly, when she gets killed off or whatever. But like those bits were like really cool, and it took on a more of like a what it reminded me of the jump from Stranger Things 1 and 2 to 3 is it reminded me a lot of like the tonal jump from Alien to Aliens.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Horror to
Action. Sort of like action a bit.
Sci-fi action.
Yeah, there was kind of like less horror moments in this, and it's
there's a lot of body horror, like a lot of
a lot of body horror,
tense horror.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly, like actual horror, like scary stuff.
I can still remember the first season being on edge. All the other seasons I haven't been on edge with.
No,
I think they've changed that, but when it first came out, when the Demigigan is stalking Will for the first time, that's terrifying. The first episode where you don't see anything. But
yeah, you don't.
After that, it does go more. The aliens route have been more action.
It has, yeah, and that's not. But like with Aliens, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
And this is what I think people are confusing it for. I think people don't like tonal shift a lot these days. Ironically, they like consistency, but they don't like it when things change too much. And I'll not get into what I'm referring to yet again.
He's going to talk about Star Wars,
no,
guys.
I'm not.
He's going to talk about Star Wars.
No, I'm not. I'm putting my foot down. Everybody knows my thoughts on The Last Jedi and the fan base.
It might be Thor Eyes as well.
Oh, God.
Tonal shift.
No, tonal shift. Yeah, well, exactly.
I don't like that tonal shift for the better, though. Well, a lot of people do like that tonal shift for the better.
What, for...
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. I mean, I thought it was a good idea.
Oh, yeah. It got me back into Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, it's full-on action comedy, but it's like, it's Taika Waititi doing
Taika Waititi.
Doing Taika Waititi, which what he does quite best. But like, but I did.
Who we haven't mentioned the past 2 episodes?
What?
Murray.
Who?
The conspiracy theorist guy.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh my god, he's great. Murray, he's absolutely great. Like, he was fantastic in season 2.
Yeah.
Like, for that brief moment that he was there, and just encourages. He's just like, I see a lot of things, and I see romance here. You know what I mean? Absolutely brilliant. And his little joke in season 2 is like, so, how was the pullout? And John's like, what? He went, the pullout bed, you know what I mean? Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. But it was like, but he really shines in season 3.
Yeah.
And he's one of my favourite characters. He's absolutely brilliant.
Shines a lot more in 4 as well.
Yes, I've seen bits of that now. Like, I like that he's immediately like going to be like a main character in 4. Well, this is what they're kind of establishing.
Yeah.
There. But no, he's great in season 3, and I love, and again the bond that they form with like this Russian that they the scientist that they found, Alexei.
Yes.
Heartbreaking.
Oh yeah.
Like poor bloke. He just wanted to live a lovely capitalist life. He just wanted to. I wouldn't have been surprised if Ronald Reagan, again, if he appeared at this point and said, "It's all right, son. With hard work and determination, you can become anyone, even a filthy commie like you." You know what I mean? So, but he just loved it. He loved all of it. He just wanted to laugh. He wanted to watch Looney Tunes. He just wanted to drink his raspberry milkshake, whatever it was, and drive cars and win rigged games at American theme parks and stuff. And Murray's lovely to him.
Yeah.
as well. He's absolutely lovely to him, and that's what I quite liked about that character, because obviously he's a conspiracy nut,
Yeah.
but he's not, a human, not unlike it. He's not incapable of feeling genuine emotion, and he's like, oh, well, this guy who I can communicate with, I've just discovered that he is just someone who is just under a crazy dictatorial ruler,
Yeah.
and he just wants freedom, and there's that like really heartbreaking moment where the Terminator shoots him,
Yeah.
and it's like, Alexei, and he's like, I left him for 2 minutes, and it's like, obviously the guilt comes in there, but that was great. That was really wonderful, and I just love how like there's the classic thing of like he's got a metal detector, and he's got like his cameras and shit, and he was great. I do love characters like that, and I also really enjoyed as well how Hopper is kind of unhinged throughout this entire season. Like he's so fed up,
Yeah.
like to the point where he just beats the shit out of the mayor. He just doesn't care, you know what I mean? It's like which I really quite enjoyed, I enjoy watching like corrupt characters and like bad characters like sort of
Yeah.
getting the shit beat out of them. It's really satisfying to watch for some reason. He was kind of, I felt like the mayor was a little bit of a spare part. That is the one criticism I'll give of it. He did feel a bit too cartoon villainy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, obviously, he's a corrupt piece of shit. You know what I mean? But no, but like I said before, I liked about Will. Now that I remember it, I like that. Although that Will wasn't the focus in terms of like the supernatural stuff, it was literally just another external party. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Will's conflict really was focused on the here and now. It was like kind of focused in out here. When he destroys his den.
Yeah.
And because it's like it's stupid and like I'm just a kid and I haven't grown up yet, and it's like I felt really, and that is heartbreaking. That was a heartbreaking scene.
Yeah,
It's just
it was.
like because he's, bless him, he's, and it was kind of akin to like what happens in real life. It's like, I mean, you can go through so much trauma, but the world does move on without you.
Yeah. All his friends are like,
Get
Fine,
over it
like-
a little bit, you know what I mean?
yeah, getting older, thinking about all, like other stuff, and he just wants to play D&D. He just wants to be. He wants his group of friends to be together and
Mm-hmm.
play games.
And it's not, and but you've got but but you were saying before actually, like off air, the interesting theory that you I don't know, do you want to talk about it now or do you want to wait? Because it's kind of like revealed a little bit in this one, isn't it?
A little bit in
Do you
this one.
think?
It's going to be more in the next one, I think. Definitely more in the next. You'll see more in the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
yeah.
go for next.
Yeah, that's fine then. But like it's
Be more relevant.
yeah, I suppose it is a bit more relevant, but it's it is that thing of like Will really is struggling to move on here, and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't help himself by dressing up as a wizard, really. I mean, like when he came out and that, I was like, oh, Will, mate, come on, man. But he just loves it, man. He just fucking loves D&D. And what's more ironic is like, and when they're into season 4, they're all back to playing D&D. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Which is like, I was like, fuck you pieces of shit. You
They
know
get
what
to
I mean?
high school and think, oh, what we're going to do, and then half of them just go, yeah, D&D.
D&D, exactly. It's like, but it's I just found it so funny, and it was and a big showdown as well that they had in the
Mall of America.
Mall of America, what's called the Stato of the Battle of Starcourt or something like that, or Starcourt or whatever.
Starcourt,
Starcourt, the Battle of Starcourt, which is a great title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I absolutely fucking love that. It was great. And I liked how, like Nancy as well. Again, one of my favorite characters. She was badass in this one, isn't she?
Nancy with a gun.
Oh God, I know. but it was like, when she gets a gun, she does not mess around. Like, she goes to town.
Yeah.
Like, because it was like, I was like, oh yeah, she knows how to use a gun because she's plenty of practice in season 1, and there was another thing of like with that bit where like they're trying to get the car started and Billy is like gonna ram them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then she just like literally takes him on in like that like full on like Joker Heath Ledger thing, you know, where she's trying to shoot him and everything. I thought it was great. But it was that's what I mean. Like, it was so much full of action. You know what I mean? It was like, but it was like adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like going through this entire thing, and some people like really, it wasn't for them. They preferred like the more like sinister, like, you know, like scary talk. But like yeah, I love that as well. But we've done it.
Yeah.
You know, let's try and do something different here. And I don't necessarily think that was a bad direction
There's a
to go in.
a thing. Have you ever heard of Dead Space, the game?
I have.
So the first one, full on horror.
Mm.
Like, full on, holy shit, this is terrifying kind of horror. Second game, more action. Third game, much more action.
Mm-hmm.
But the theory is just like, well, the main character's experienced horror. He's gotten past his horror. They know how to fight them.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's going to be more actiony because he just knows more.
Well, oh my god. I've just
About-
dropped my lid, ladies
You
and
did.
gentlemen.
Yeah, but like they know more about the enemies and stuff. They're not going to get more scared because they've seen them before. They just know how to.
And it's kind of the same
Similar kind of
similar
theory.
kind of thing here. It's like, at this point, these guys, I mean, look, we are physically seeing them age.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, it was mad for me because I've watched all of
Oh yeah, you're going like straight away.
I have like watched the span of years go by in a matter of weeks,
Yeah.
right? And it's like I've seen them from when they were children right up until now where they're in their early 20s, like
Yeah.
in real life, you know, and it was quite insane to see a little bit, you know. But it's like you know, they're growing, you know, they're becoming older, more seasoned people. And I've noticed as well, like, there's I mean, you see it even more in season 4 a little bit, but like, from what I have seen, but like, they're in high school now. Everything is like dour. You know what I mean? Like, I've noticed about the character. I mean, apart from Dustin, who was just a gleaming
Optimist.
light of optimism throughout this entire thing, but he's finding solace in another group of friends. You know,
Yeah.
this is what I've noticed, especially in the beginning. Like, he seems to he prefers to hang out with Steve. He prefers to hang out with like Robin and
Yeah.
you know, and his girlfriend and what have you, and you know, because Mike's a fucking misery.
Mm.
Like, Mike is literally, I mean, yeah, he hangs out with him with the D&D thing in season 4, but like, it's like, Mike is a fucking I hate him. I hate this character, honestly. Like, he's, I mean, I get that he's going through, like, you know, he really loves Elle, and like, he just wants to spend all his time with her, you know, and he's, you know, and he's kind of like resentful against Hop. He has no time for Will and Will's, you know, D&D bullshit and stuff like that, in which he actively says to him, like, do you not think that we're going to move on from this? We're not kids anymore.
Yeah.
Which I do understand. It's like, you know, there is that thing of like, we aren't kids anymore, and it's like, yeah, you physically are not kids anymore. Like, I've seen you guys age, but but it is depressing when, like, when you see, especially when you watch season 1, and they are, all 4 of them are filled with awe and wonder, and you know,
D&D,
from D&D, if you're just doing simple kid things, and then even by the end when they're all together again, like, you know, they'll do anything to save their friend Will, and they do, you know, and it's like, but you know, they kind of like they kind of just like abandon all of that, you know, as they get older, and I honestly think that is one of the that could be the show's biggest strength, is that it shows the real life. I don't want to say horror because I feel like it's natural. It's just a natural thing anyway.
I think the term tropes is like adult horror, kind of
Adult horror.
like adult fear. That's the one.
Adult fear, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the fear and the sadness of what naturally happens when you get older. It's like, people, you do. I mean, I've experienced that myself. It's like, you know, when you're a child or when you're younger, you hang out with certain people who you are certain you are going to spend the rest of your life with in terms of friendships, right? And then as you get older and older, it doesn't always happen, but sometimes those people are no longer part of your life.
I can't remember the last time I talked to someone from school.
Well, exactly. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
Even college.
yeah. And it's like, you know, it's not necessarily because I mean, sometimes you fall out with them.
Yeah.
But most of the time, you just drift apart.
Yeah.
Your life just goes in different directions. Like there's this one guy, like I was best mates with him, like back in school, and ever since we got into like secondary school, there was that natural like parting of ways did start to happen, but we were always like still like vaguely like like close and pally and friends and shit, but as time now has gone on, the last time I spoke to him was 2017,
Yeah.
I think. Just to let him know that my nan passed away, because he was quite close with my family around that time, and he knew her, and stuff. And he said, "I'm really sorry to hear that." And he said, like, I'll be here if you ever want to chat, just as an old mate. And that's what he referred to himself as. And I thought, well, that's what you are. You know what I mean? And now he's married. He's married. I've never met his now wife. I've never met any of his other like friends from like university or what have you. And it's like he's moved on. He's like and that's kind of what the show. And that's not a bad thing. That's just what happens.
Yeah.
That is just what happens. And it's like the show, I think, is starting to do a really good job of showing that. Because you even see Lucas starting to move on.
Yeah.
In season 4, and it's like you can see like the seeds of it. Well, maybe it's not the seeds of it in season like 3, but you certainly see the seeds of it for Dustin, because Dustin, this is what I love about Dustin. He has no time for bullshit.
Yeah.
He kind of just gets on with it, and like he's like, well, fuck yous. Do you know what I mean? It's like what I liked is like he just got back. He literally just got back from camp.
Yeah.
And the first thing that like Mike wanted to do, again, fuck you, Mike, is he just wanted to go off and like pretend shag 11. Do you know what I mean? And like literally within minutes they were like, oh, see you, we're gonna go off and spend time with each other. And Dustin was like, I've just got back, this is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of the season he fucks him off. He's like, no, I'm going off to spend time with Steve and these other people, and he forms his own crew. And I'm like, yes, dude, you know what I mean? Like, you go off and do your own thing, man. Don't put up with this shit. And he doesn't, and it's great. And but maybe that is the show's biggest strength. It shows despite all this mad stuff happening around you, like demonic, other dimensional shit. The biggest thing that you have to deal with often is life itself.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with people moving on, people passing away, people getting the opportunities and leaving you behind, or you going off and doing your own thing and deciding to go off on your own and forge your own path. And that is never a pleasant thing. It's always, well, it is if you really want to do it, and you should always want to do it, but it's never not sad, you know. And it's and I think Stranger Things does. I mean, granted, they are still all just in high school, but you can see it starting to happen, and it's and that is what the show does really well, I think. It's a rip-roaring good time as well. Season 3, it's full of twists and turns, and just it's always like non-stop action and stuff like that. And I think that's
Do have one twist which I think they should have kept a little bit longer.
what was that?
Hop's death.
Yeah.
Because there's a post-credit scene. You see him in Russia, and it's like, well, he's going to be the bad guy in Black Widow now.
Yes, that's true. Actually, yes, that's where he went. Yeah. Black Widow is a sequel to Stranger Things. That's amazing.
But yeah, I think we should have kept that. Like,
probably.
Oh no, Hop's dead 5 minutes later. Oh look, he's in Russia, which is like, what the fuck? But it's still the same thing. You could have kept that just a little bit.
I agree, because it's like they deal with that line of like, no, not the American. It's like, well, it's obviously Hopper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, who else is it going to be? Ronald Reagan. the communists have got me. But it's like, yeah, I mean, they could have, like, because I mean, like when that explosion happens, it's like, I mean, it's fairly obvious that he's not dead, but it's like, you
should have done what they did in Lord of the Rings, where they show him die like Gandalf, and then the next season they show that opening again, but just move the camera or whatever.
The camera over, which is fantastic.
Which they did anyway.
Yeah, they did. They did do that. They showed that. I mean, like when you see it in that episode in season 3, it's like you don't see the body.
Yeah.
So it's likely that he's not dead.
If you don't see a body, it doesn't count for the most part.
That is true. And it's always the case in films and TV and stuff like that, in any media.
That's why spoilers for Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch is probably still alive. You don't see her get crushed.
Of course, she's not dead.
Yeah, you don't see her actual die.
Well, exactly. It's like a big character like Wanda as well. It's like, you know, she's one of like the pillars of the MCU, and it's like you can't kill her off like that. You've got to, if you are going to kill her off, you have to give her like a proper death,
Yeah.
where like at the very least you see her corpse.
Yeah, if you don't see the corpse, they're not dead. That's the rule.
That is the rule. And
It's a rule of villains. It's a rule of villains and heroes. Anyone else can get fucked. You can die off
absolutely.
screen.
It's like if you die off screen, it's fine. You know what I mean? It's like,
But if you're an established character and you die off screen, then you're either a bad writer or they're not dead yet.
That is true. Although, yeah, exactly. And so we knew that Hopper isn't dead, but you know, he's in the Soviet Union. But like, you know, great character moments though in this season, and it was and yeah, like I say, like Billy's sacrifice at the end, you know, to save it, like saving your sister and what have you. It was tragic, and I don't know if I would have liked to have seen a bit more of Billy, you know, but again, it's like the same with Barbara.
Well, from the sounds of it, I think you want to see a lot more of Billy, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, that's why. I want him to save my life. You know, hello. You know?
Oh, he's got Australian.
Oh, hey, justice for Billy, yeah.
Yeah.
God, honestly. But I did like that they brought back the scientist guy at the end.
Yeah.
Who looked so. Oh my God! Like, what's happened? You know, does he? I'm curious. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen it. Does he make a reappearance in season 4?
Well, you'll see.
I will see. I'm very excited about that. But but yeah,
Just realised something there. You're saying justice for Billy. It's when Bob, and Billy.
they're all bees.
They're all bees.
If you've got a bee name, then you're gonna die. That's how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stranger Things. Oh my God. So like Brenda best not make an appearance.
Aye, Brian's in season 4. No, poor Brian.
Oh no, Brian, mate, get out while you can, mate. Get out while you can. Honestly. But no, it was that was actually another thing. Actually, I really enjoyed how at the end of season 3 they did give reference to the mysterious deaths of Bob and Barbara, which, you know, I mean, so I've heard some people say like they kind of like the show kind of like forgets about Barbara.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I guess she does do that in season 3.
Well, after we talked about it, I saw something, and it said something about Barbara's character. Said, yeah, the Duffer Brothers said like she wasn't written to be anything special. She was just there to be like again a foil for Nancy. Mm-hmm. That kind of like the moment, but just everyone just latched onto it,
which is fairly obvious. I mean, from when you watch it, but it's like, I mean, for us anyway. But it's like, I mean, I get it. I mean, you know, if you make like nice characters who get a little bit of shit pummeled on them, people naturally want to see them.
Yeah.
See the sun. You know what I mean? And like have their day. But unfortunately, life isn't like that, really. You know, it's like, unfortunately, you know, characters like that have to die, you know, in order to showcase that the villain or the threat is actually a threat.
Yeah.
You know, because like it's like when you do them like killing what's it called? Like if it's like a big world threatening like thing that's gonna like destroy the world. Okay, great. I don't know everyone in the world. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, but when they kill off someone that you care about, like when they kill Bob, when they kill Barbara, Barbara, yeah.
Bob, yeah.
I thought for a second I thought she was called Brenda. You know, when they kill off Bob and when they kill off Brenda, and when they, I mean, to some extent, when they kill off Billy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, it hurts because you care about these characters, and that's when it becomes personal because you feel like you know them, and that's why you don't like the villain, you know, because they do shit like that, and yeah, that's why these characters have to die.
Yeah.
But no, Billy, man. It was quite Christ-like as well. His sacrifice, I noticed as well.
He's like.
Do you notice that, like with the whole like
out.
the arms spread out thing and everything? I thought it's quite interesting. We're portraying Billy as a little bit of a martyr here, and Yeah, but and I also really liked that every time you see him, he's wearing more and more clothing
Yeah.
because obviously the weakness of the creatures from the fucking Upside Down is heat.
Yeah.
You know, they don't like extreme heat because they come from a really cold environment, which makes total sense. So I really enjoyed that little detail, and in the whole like Cold War, like 80s Magnum PI kind of vibe, I really loved.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so refreshing because it reminded me a little bit of, like, you know, this is a little in reference here for myself and Lee and Tom as well, but if we ever made Mothman and Tobias, that's how I imagined it would feel. Do you know what I mean?
Funny how a location wasn't getting torn down as we speak.
I know, and like that's the thing. In the Sunderland area, they are tearing down the Civic Centre, which is a crying shame, because that building is literally from like the 70s,
Oh, yeah.
like 80s era building, you know, and it is like, it's just glorious. It might even be earlier than that. I might be mistaken on that, but it's like Tom will know for certain when it was built. But it's such a shame, you know, because it's like bits of like gentrification in history, man. It's like, you know, we're losing all of it, but you know, it's times move on, you know, and all that. And but no, I thoroughly enjoyed season 3, and I'm incredibly looking forward to the rest of like how season 4 is going to pan out.
Yeah.
And you know, it's again, I don't think it was the worst season. A lot of people were disappointed with season 3 from what I've seen, and that kind of sparked on the, like, you know, the videos on YouTube where they go, Stranger Things, what went wrong?
Yeah.
You know, and like and stuff. I'm like, come on, man, you know what I mean? It's like, it's like fucking hell. I'll have to watch them, mind, to see what the opinion is.
Think, yeah.
What the opinion is, because I'm always interested in what other people think. But from my point of view, I don't agree. I think shows have to evolve, and I mean, I guess some people will think this is a devolution, but I don't know. I don't know if it's that bad. You know what I mean? I actually think this could be the second best season, because I haven't seen season 4 yet.
Yeah.
So I can't judge it fully yet. But for me, it's like season 1 still the best. Season 3. Really fucking good, and season 2 is the worst one. Oh my god! Sorry,
My cats keep on scaring John.
yes, it is. The cat
It's like,
just
shit, Democrat.
the cat just jumped up behind me. Hello there, Rosie. But no. So I'm looking forward to seeing what season 4 is going to be.
Good. Which will be next week.
That will be next week.
Yeah.
Until then,
Yeah.
bada bing.
Quick end.